Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks Live, the Sunday edition. Arnis, Christopher, old man, Newt, what's up, y'all? Glad to see you here. Glad you could make it. Good afternoon, Newt. Um, yeah, warm thoughts from Florida, everybody. It's going to be cold in the morning, but right now it's been a pretty nice day today. Um, let's see. Today I was going to kick this off by bitching about politicians some more. I see all that shit going down in Minnesota and the politicians up there talking shit and trying to rile everybody up and stuff, talking about going against the federal government. And I'm not against anybody going against the federal government. Don't get me wrong. Um, I don't know. I can't think of an entity that I dislike more than the federal government. But my thing is that these politicians are up there getting people riled up, getting them to go out there and protest ICE and all that stuff. A couple of them have been killed, and it's these politicians that are out there getting on the TV and getting everybody riled up and giving these emotionally charged speeches and shit. And literally, people are dying over it. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that they did Minnesota bucked against the federal government and they kicked off a civil war. Minnesota um, uh, seceded from the union and shit. And there's a civil war. Do you think those politicians, that lady up there giving that speech, I don't know if she's lieutenant governor or whatever the hell she was. I don't even know her name. I recognized her face in the thing I watched, but she's not going to be on the front lines dodging bullets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Other people are going to go die. That kind of shit. If it was a plumber or something up there giving some kind of speech about freedom and how we need to fight against the federal government, I could get all behind that. But some politician up there, uh, just bucking other people up to go out there and put their lives in danger. No, I can't get behind that shit. Oh, Wayne Beatty, just another guy in the woods. Duncan, Felix, how's it going, y'all? Glad to see you. Brad Davis, what's up, Brad? My boy Mike Fleisner, there he is. Glad to see you, Mike. Raziel, you're pro anti too, Roz? Hell yeah, dude. Yep. Glad to see y'all here. Yeah, exactly, Duncan. They're hypocrites, man. And that's one thing that all politicians have in common is they're hypocrites because they will send people over to die and they will not go themselves. So if anything else, and every single one of them are guilty of that. They're not gonna, they're not gonna send their own sons or daughters over there to die in whatever conflict. You know what I mean? They're not gonna fight themselves. They want us to do it. Any conflict they kick up, they stir up. They want us to do it, right? They want us to bleed for their pocketbook or their principles or whatever. It's us that have to bleed for it. So yeah, I can't support any of that shit. I don't give a shit what their message is. If a politician's saying it, I don't even want to damn hear it. Like I said, if a plumber was up there or a waitress or something, if she was up there, trying to get people riled up because the government's too oppressive, hell, I could get behind her. I could get behind a waitress or a bartender or something. But a politician, hell no, nope. I just can't do it. Dog Karma, what's up? Daniel, hey Daniel, glad to see you here, man. Tripwire, there he is. There he is. Good morning, Tripwire. Yeah, yeah, that don't make it right. Yeah, Roz. Yeah, they're not going to do it themselves. Um, and that's one thing. To ask somebody to do something, anything, crawl under a house and clean out, the rats or whatever something you would not do yourself if you're paying them, for a service. But anything, it's some people find it difficult to ask someone to do something that they would not do themselves. And I think at the top of that, the very tippy top of that idea is to die, I would think. You know what I mean? That should be something that no one does. Die so I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? That has to be the epitome of selfishness and just not uncaring about your fellow man. Jeff 7, what's up, Jeff 7? Glad to see you here. Mr. Hurst, ICE needs to go harder. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. Yep. I've been saying that for a while. That my main complaint about Trump is that he's tippy tapping this shit. Yeah. It should be full on. Yeah. They should be running for the border themselves because they don't want ICE, coming down on them. Yeah. I understand probably the logistics of a full on national sweep, but that's what's called for. Yeah. My idea of the cleanup of the deportations would be borderline dystopian, and I'm not even kidding about that. It'd be borderline dystopian. Yeah. Yeah, he's an enema, Duncan. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, dude. I hate to admit it, but you're right, dude. Yeah. Yeah. If you're a billionaire, yeah, Felix. Yeah, me too, man. Oh, knock the power out for 8 hours? Damn, Trip. All right. Well, you got your some prepping practice, huh? Some post-apocalyptic practice. Yeah, that's the good thing about power outages. An army of babies, infantry. No, hell no. I was infantry, dude. Hey, now, army of babies. Oh no. What did you serve, Felix? Were you in the Marines or something? I love that camaraderie. That how the Army picks on the Navy and the Navy picks on the Army and everybody picks on the Air Force, right? Yeah, that's awesome. You married a bartender, old man? Oh, okay, Christopher. Yeah, deal with Social Security. It wasn't the people; it was a computer. Yeah, yeah. To try to figure out the next stage of life. Yeah, dude. That's some must be some tough shit to go through, dude. They won't let you say shit about migration underground. What's up, underground? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. YouTube's wonderful for censorship, so that we can't be surprised by that. Is running hard today, Hurst. Yeah, they must that damn algorithm, that AI must be doing calisthenics and shit. Yeah, but local police are corrupt. The local police should have dealt with it decades ago. Underground, in my opinion, there wouldn't be a problem if the local police would have dealt with it. Uh, they've been pouring money into the local police and shit for decades, but the local police don't get the money. Don't get me wrong. Local police don't get the money. The money gets stolen from them before they ever get it. Yeah, me too, old man. And if the old adage goes, don't give them a rough time. You don't give the police a rough time, especially if you're not even involved in the situation. You don't want to go get shot, then don't go running up and charging at the police like you're going to do something. Drive your car at them or whatever. Stay the hell out of it. That's how I don't get shot. If I see police doing some shit, I don't pull over and go get involved in it. Some stranger shit. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's a really good way of keeping police bullets from entering your body is by not messing with them completely. If you're not involved in it, just stay out of it. You know, and even if you are involved in it, be polite, like the Roadhouse, like Patrick Swayze told us in Roadhouse. Be nice. Uh, Being nice is better than being shot. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I might be wrong, but I'm nice even to the assholes. Rodney, what's up, Rodney? Can we tax? Oh shit, that would be the way to tax, Rodney. Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. Tax stupid. Yeah, wouldn't that would lead to utopia if we could just tax stupid? Yeah, we'd be rich, funds coming out of our ears, huh? Ice needs to melt. Yeah, yeah, Duncan. Ever get 24-hour unable to comment punishment? Nuh-uh. I never have. Yeah, on YouTube. Oh, I'm sure it's all corrupt. Underground. Yeah, sure they're corrupt. I'm sure they are. It's all corrupt. If it's got to do with a government agency, it's corrupt. So some of the government agencies are doing what you want them to do, and others are doing what you don't want them to do. Hell, if they're doing what I want them to do, then I'm going to get the hell out of the way. You know what I mean? Not jump in the middle and get myself shot. So, yeah, it's all corrupt. So what the hell? We either need to end the corruption or I don't know what the hell to do. I'm not up here saying I have the answers, but yeah, no, I agree. They're corrupt as hell. Yeah, you don't care that much. Keystone Cops, Duncan, Shannon, what's up? Yeah, I don't know how well trained they are. I'm not sure about all that. I don't know how much training they get and all that stuff. But the immigration thing's been ridiculous for a long time. Our wages have been driven down by all this shit, by all this immigration. Our culture is being destroyed. And so I'm for deportation. How do we do it other than like they're doing it? If somebody's got a better way to do it, I'm all for it. I wish the people would just volunteer to go home, pay taxes to their homeland, not work under the table and steal out of our economy, lower our wages, uh, uh, fraudulently steal from our stupid ass corrupt government. So, I don't know. Yeah, I wish they'd all just go home. If I had my way, they'd just peacefully go home. There would be no ice. There would have been an ice. Never wouldn't have been a thing. Oh, okay. You were already in the army. Oh yeah, yeah. I've been around when they were firing off those artillery shells. That shit's crazy. Yeah, you can feel those things firing off. JPC, what's up, JPC? Yeah, well, I'm not saying stay out of it underground. I'm not saying stay completely out of it. I'm saying stay out of physical confrontations in the moment. Yeah, no, addressing it some other way and fixing it. Yeah, that needs to be done. But getting in the middle of a physical confrontation with the police is not an ideal, is not a real intelligent thing to do, in my opinion. Yeah, do crazy shit and expect to be unharmed, Felix. Yeah, common sense. Hey, RR, what's up? Glad to see you here. Oliver Rust. Hey, Oliver. Glad you made it, Oliver. Yeah, get off my lawn. Yeah, Rodney. Yeah, there's a bad apple in every bunch. Yep. None of those ICE agents, I don't think they're above anything. They're just probably just a bunch of dipshit running around, full of themselves, full of their own little temporary power they have. I'm not, I'm not a fan of that kind of person, but shit, the work needs done. So, and I'm not doing it. I'm not capable of doing it. They're not going to hire me to be an ICE agent. So I'm not gonna condemn them for out there doing it. Yeah, yeah, they made the problem in the first place. Exactly. Like just another guy in the woods. Yeah, the government created this problem, and now they're making it worse on both sides. But what the hell? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answers. Yeah, I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice. RR. Yeah. Yeah. You've gotten shadow banned on YouTube plenty of times, Hurst? Okay, I never have. Yeah, humans are messy, yep. Yeah, yeah, Felix. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a funny fight. Yeah. Michelle, what's up, Michelle? Glad to see you here. Yeah, it's an acronym for something enforcement. I'm getting a brain cramp, but yeah, it's something for um, immigration customs enforcement. There you go, Felix. Thank you. Yeah, Hurst. All right. Crusaders USA. What's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Crusader. Those that don't pay taxes have too much to say. Yeah, uh, exactly. We're robbed, and and they give it to illegal immigrants. They don't. That's not true. We're robbed. They throw the money in a black hole of debt. Then they borrow money from the bank and give that money to illegal immigrants instead of helping us with it. Uh, when I see Americans of every stripe, creed, and color being denied for government assistance and small business loans and shit, and them just handing them out like monopoly money to immigrants, uh, I've got to have a problem with that. I have to. Uh, you're you know we don't make this country a shithole because they made their country a shithole. Go back there and fix your country, and let us fix ours. So well, let's turn the whole world into one big shithole, and then we'll all be equally shitty. I'm just not. That's not. No, I don't agree with that. Yeah, the corrupt judge ruled over the will of the citizens. Yep, I believe that. RR. Yeah, that sounds about right. They actually tried to fix it. A corrupt judge. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Common sense is racist and misogynist or something, Rosie. Oh yeah. Papa Wheelie Butt Nuggets Homestead. There he is. What's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, the justice system, it's all just bullshit now, dude. Oh yeah, we will. We'll survive, Michelle. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, yeah. Not taking one to a protest, old man. That it's just common sense. You know what I mean? Don't do it. You know, don't give them a reason to shoot you. Uh, It's not hard. It's not hard to not do something. I have a problem with doing shit, going to work, busting my ass 10 hours a day. I have a problem with these things. I don't have a problem with not doing something. I can sit on the couch. You know what I mean? That's easy for me, you know? Uh, so yeah, I don't understand these people who can't just use common sense when nothing is the by far the better decision. Yeah, uphold the laws as written, Crusader. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Metal Gear, what's up, Metal Gear? Glad to see you here, man. You figured out how to pay off the debt, Oliver? Yeah, student loans. Yep, all that shit, Felix. Yeah, tax is stupid. Yeah, Oliver. Okay, yeah, that'd pay off the debt, the 38 trillion in about 3 days. Start taxing for stupidity. Yeah, yeah. When they when when they took Neil. Oh, yeah. When they took Brad, I'm going to change it a little bit. When they took my neighbor, I did nothing. When they came for me, there was no one left to stand for me. Yeah, I read that too a long time ago. It's something to that effect. And yeah, it's so true. Um, Gardner Earth Guy, what's up, Gardner? Glad to see you here. Yeah, yeah, old man. And it would be different. Okay, and it's partially the government's fault because of this immigration. They could have a streamlined um, way to bring people in that are needed and have them become citizens and become integrated into our society and become profitable citizens and help neighbors and all this stuff. They could do that, but they never have. They just haven't done it in my entire life. You got to wait years, sometimes decades to become a citizen. What is that shit about? It's ridiculous. They need to streamline it, make it easier for people to become citizens. Let them pay taxes. Let them, uh, it's just ridiculous. They've got it an entire just cluster. It's a messed up situation, and it should be just streamlined and easy. But just like everything else, the government touches, they ruin it. All right. So to see immigration in this tangled mess we have today, this uh, ball of confusion and hatred and vitriol, and when the government's been in charge of it for decades, it's not surprising. They ruin everything they touch. Yes, the government is who we should be focused on. Absolutely, underground. But at the same time, um, this it's not a victimless crime. The American citizens are the victims. Okay, a bank robber is just he's just trying to better his life. So what he's just trying to better his life. Honestly, he is. He's trying to make his life better. So he runs in there and he robs a bank. So what's the harm in that? Uh, it's not quite that easy. I have worked with illegal immigrants. I don't get me wrong. I've been on the slab and worked beside them. I've helped them fill out their bogus ass W4s, claiming exemption on all taxes because they knew if they got caught anyway, they were screwed and deported. So what the hell? So they just claim exemption uh, and pay zero taxes and get their full check. I've done it. I know what I'm talking about. This isn't hearsay. I didn't read this on the internet. I was sitting there sweating on the guy's W4 form as I was helping him fill it out. So yeah, just he had a fake ID, and so I know what I'm talking about. And then give him a ride home, and there's 15 dudes living in there in a single wide trailer. They're all paying, minimum amount, but still, and it's another Mexican American, Hispanic American who's renting them the trailer and charging them insane fees for that, for what it is. It's cheap as hell. Um, for a living place. But for what that is, having 15 people crammed in there, the fees were insane. But they were raking in, several thousand a month or whatever. So yeah, it's not a good situation for them. It's not a good situation for us. It shouldn't be allowed. It should be streamlined and easy for them to come here and become United States citizens and pay taxes and contribute to our economy and help us make it so where none of us pay taxes, right? Not just some of us pay taxes and some of us don't. Make it so all of us don't pay taxes anymore. All of us American citizens. So yeah, that's where I'm at there. Yeah, Gardner. Yeah, demanding an apocalypse. That's what we need. Yeah, yep. Yeah, Mike, you're right. Obama wanted to bring us down to Somalia level. Yeah. Yeah, make the entire world a shithole. Yeah. You practice doing nothing every day, Roz. Yeah, I can't blame you, dude. I'm not going to blame you. I wish I could. We'd have a contest who could do nothing the longest. If he can solve the Greenland problem, I don't know. I'm not sure who created the Greenland problem or why there's a Greenland problem all of a sudden. But yeah, if he can solve it, more power to him. Yeah, yeah. Just another guy in the woods. Yeah, we should just make Western civilization one big country and all defend ourselves and each other. You got a light, dead wolf? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll just sift through the ashes. Gen X will be sifting through the ashes. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, the seals get uppity? Yeah, Greenland's a problem. I think it has to do with AI in the data centers and the cold temperatures in Greenland. And the people in the United States don't want data centers built all over the damn place, and their power bills to triple, quadruple within several months. So they got to find some place to build all these damn things, and I think Greenland's the perfect spot. I could be completely wrong on that and talking out my ass, but it seems to make sense to me. Chaz, what's up, Chaz? Glad to see you here, man. Glad you can make it, Chaz. Aloha, dude. Fake money's profitable. Hell yeah. What is more profitable than fake money, Brad? We're all chasing after their fake ass money. What else is there to do, right? Yeah. Yeah, tell Trump it's Greenland. Yeah, take Trump to Alaska. Yep. Yeah. He probably wouldn't. Michelle, you're right. Yeah, Alaska is the closest we are to Russia. Yeah, it's really close, isn't it? Um, Hurst, I think it's pretty damn close too. Yeah. Well, still, I mean, yeah. All right, Arnis. If I get what you're saying here, every protest, people come armed. Why? It's supposed to be a peaceful protest. Why would you come armed? That doesn't make any sense. Uh, if you're expecting conflict, then you go armed. If you're expecting peace, then there's no reason to go armed. And if you go armed and you have a conflict with the police and they see you're armed, they're going to freak out. I would freak out if I was them. Most people would, put the gun down. People are crazy. They're not telling what somebody's going to do with a gun. So yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Yeah, we have the Second Amendment right, but we also um, have common sense, you know. And if we plan on engaging with the police, it's probably not a good idea to be armed. It's just not real smart. Now, if you've got a militia and you're gonna fight a pitched battle, yeah, go armed. But if you're gonna go peacefully protest with candles and shit, why have an Uzi with you? It just doesn't make sense. Started an herb and veggie indoor garden, Rodney. Damn, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, seriously, that's awesome. That's the kind of shit we need to start doing. Yeah, in my opinion, I was reading that shit about that stuff that they're what is it, hydroxychloroquine or something they spray on the crops now to dry them out fast, and everybody's ingesting that shit now. He just made one up, Shannon. Just made one up. I wrote it down for him. Yeah, he just made up the Social Security number right there on the spot. He got his paycheck the next week with you know with his what's that? I said it just a minute ago. He didn't have to pay taxes. They didn't take any out of his taxes. It said that he was exempt. Oh, good. All right, Trip. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck, Trip. Hope everything goes good for you. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, screw the government. Help your community, Wayne. And yeah, we all know that. That's just good common sense nowadays. You know what I'm saying? We know now that they're not doing right by us. So, and I'm not saying we go out and I'm sitting here advocating against violence. Don't take guns out to peaceful demonstrations and shit. Not saying I'm not advocating violence against the government or anything like that. But we can peacefully stop giving them our attention, our vote, our money. Just cut them off, right? Uh, and the huge corporations that fund them and all their bullshit, we can cut them off too, a little bit at a time. Yeah, the price of silver, Mike. Yep, that's a telltale sign, dude. People should be watching that shit. All right, Oliver. Yeah, screw the government, dude. Yeah, the government closest to the people are the most accountable to the people. Federal government has become a leviathan that must be defanged. Yes, RR. Well said, dude. Exactly. Yep. Even small town governments are corrupt, but still, they've got to be cautious. They still got to do what the people want them to do. They're just trying to get theirs off the top or whatever. For the most part, federal government, they don't give a shit. They'll do whatever. Well, look at it now. They're running through the streets, just snatching people off the streets. Um, and they're protesting them and stuff, killing people and stuff. Is that a good thing? No, it shouldn't be happening. It should have been curtailed long ago in a much cleaner and neater fashion. But it's come to this. Here we are. Uh, they could have they could have cleaned that shit up and fixed it when I was a kid, and we wouldn't even be talking about this. But they didn't want to. They just didn't want to. They wanted to run up the federal deficit and raise our taxes. Yeah, reparations from NATO. Yeah, we all deserve that. Hurst. He can have Australia. You have to deport Ray Gun first before we'll take Australia, Tripwire. That's got to be in the agreement somewhere. When Joe, what's up? 1971. Hell yeah, dude. That's the best year ever. 1971. Yeah, that's the year I was born too, man. Dread Assembly, there. What's up, Dread? Glad to see you here. On the eve of destruction, I don't know. It's hard for me to get into that, Brad, because they've been telling me we were on the eve of destruction since the day I was born. Maybe it's a long, drawn out eve of destruction. Maybe it's been 54 years now, and it's and it's folding out really slowly, like like if you film dominoes falling and then you play it back in slow speed, and they're doing this yet. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. It's just hard for me to get into the doom saying, you know, end of the world crying, that kind of stuff at this point in my life. It's just tough for me to get into that right now. We'll see. If it does, I'm not going to shed a tear. We'll see what happens. Shannon, you have an indoor garden in your basement? That's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff. If you've never tasted fruit or vegetables that you've grown or somebody else has grown, your neighbor or something, and compared that to the shit you buy in the store, night and day difference. Just completely night and day difference. Muskogee Land, what's up, Muskogee? How's it going there, buddy? Glad to see you here. Yeah, I mean, people like that, Oliver, people like Elon Musk. I don't know. I'm not gonna. People like to get up there and say that he's Jesus come again, just like they do Trump. People like to get up there and say that he's the Antichrist, just like they do Trump. It's one or the other. I'm in the middle with him. He does some stuff I like and some stuff I don't like. I don't like. Not a big fan of his brain chips, his neuro whatever. What are they called? Neuralink shit he's doing. Not a big fan of that. I'll tell you right off the bat. Not a big fan of his robots he's coming out with. He's going to try to put in every single household around the planet. Not a big fan of that either. But he's also done good stuff. So, yeah. And he's definitely intelligent. Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer? Glad to see you here. Glad you could make it. Yeah. Oh, I went grocery shopping this morning. I was pushing my cart down the aisle. And I looked up. There's a big bleach display, and I looked up, and $6.87 for a gallon of bleach. $6.87 for a gallon of bleach. That shit used to be 79 cents a gallon. And it wasn't that damn long ago. I'm not talking about, back in the 70s when we walked uphill both ways to the arcade and shit. No, I mean, this was in the early 2000s. That shit was 79, 89 cents a gallon, maybe mid 2000s. And it's almost $7 a gallon now. It's more than gasoline. What the hell? These commodity prices, yeah, it's insane. The price of our goods and shit, the deflation of our dollar, they jacked up every price across the board when COVID hit, and they have not come back down. So as far as prices and the economy goes, we're still in COVID. We're still in COVID lockdown regime because they never brought the prices back down to reflect the end of COVID and the economy opening back up. They're scumbags. It's just robbery. Can of butter. Made some chocolate chip. I don't even know what can of butter is. I've never heard of that, Michelle. Yeah. You start talking like Boomhauer. Yeah, ray gun to Greenland trip. Yeah, we'll send them ray gun. Yep. And United States and Australia would join forces. Canada can come too. Yeah, yeah. They have to, local politicians have to live among those they are grifting. Yep. They're not grifting from their ivory tower somewhere 3,000 miles away. Yeah. Yeah, or you're absolutely right. Wasp spray instead of mace. Yeah, that's actually a pretty damn good idea. Bear spray. Yep. Yeah, Shannon. Yep. Yep. Even if it was never in view. I can't say that on air. Duncan, the first letter is the F bomb, around and find out. Duncan, that's what FAFO stands for, FAFO. F around and find out. There you go. Secret society run planet, Brad. Yeah. Q Savage, what's up? What's up, Savage? Glad to see you here. Illuminati, yeah. Yeah, fraud. Oh yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fraud is the top, probably the number one reason everything is so screwed up. If they couldn't defraud us and enrich themselves, then there would be, no reason to do all this crooked backstabbing shit, right? So yeah, if they actually put the money where it was supposed to go, um, then we wouldn't have any problems. Yeah, that were not many, not nearly as many. Down to $2, Mike. Okay, still, that's double or triple what it should be. Yeah, yeah, yep. You're right. The Second Amendment was needed to protect the First Amendment, Crusader. Yeah. Oh, weed butter. Oh, okay. I had no idea what the hell that shit was. Red Shoe Club. Yeah, I've heard of that, Brad. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've been to Aldi's a few times. It's a good store. Yeah. Yeah, they just bought up Southeast Grocers, and they're changing all those stores around now. I'm not in favor of one huge corporation buying up another huge corporation for any reason, but yeah, that's the world we live in. I couldn't stop the transaction, but whatever. Oh yeah, yeah, Muskogee, they raked it in, dude. Yep. Okay, Electronic Music Underground has a sustainable living playlist. Everybody, probably worth checking out. I need to make a note of that. Again, I forgot my pen, so I have to type it here. Underground sustainable playlist. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Underground. All right. Oh, canna for cannabis. I get it now. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, Trip. They would be. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, yeah, RR, yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets better. There's no easy way, no shortcuts, and that's what everybody wants. RR is a shortcut, an easy way out. And you just take that to any avenue of life, right? Um, there's no shortcut. Uh, the long term fix is the most painful, most expensive procedure almost always. When you're remodeling a house, you go in and you can slap paint over green mold and shit if you want to, but that's a short term fix. That's a band aid, right? It's going to come back worse than ever because the rot is just under there festering. The real fix is to rip all that shit out and start from the studs, from the foundation, and build it back new. That's remodeling 101. Home repair 101. Nation repair 101. That's how I feel about it, and it's pretty damn obvious to me. Federal agency financial oversight. You know about the Red Shoe Club, Hearst? Yeah, that's a club we're not in. Me and you are not in that club, Hearst. Yep. Yeah, they're not going to bring prices down ever. Ever. Yeah, that shit ain't coming down. Yeah, run inflation to the limit. Yeah. Without going Mad Max. Yeah. They got to keep us, to keep their lush and lavish lifestyle. They have to keep us out of the Mad Max scenario. Yeah, Mike, they are. Across Western civilization, they are. Canadians, British, Germans, French, they're all losing their countries. Americans, Australians, we're all losing our countries. It's happening in real time. Gordo, what's up, Gordo? Glad to see you here. Glad you can make it. Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right for government, Gordo. One of the most peaceful protests in history, and the government jailed, stomped us under our under mounted cops' horses. Yeah. Yep. Living in a tent by the river, Jennifer. Crusader, what's up, Crusader Survivor? Glad to see you here. Glad you can make it. Ganja maple syrup. I wonder, that shit's probably good. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. Yeah, everybody hit the like button if you think about it. Tank Ferret, there he is. What's up, Tank? Glad to see you here. Working and lurking. All right, buddy. Glad you could make it. Yeah, we're all chatty Cathy's today. Fire in the hole, Mr. Hurst. Do research on Aldi, Rodney. All right. Yeah, I've never really shopped there. I've been there once or twice, but now they just bought one of the stores that I do shop at, so I don't know what the hell. I'll have to look into them. Yeah, I try to as much as I can, Crusader, support mom and pop stores. Yeah, that's so important. I wish the boomers would have done it and taught us that way. I really do. Chili dogs with onions for breakfast. Yeah, I can't do any better than that. Well, except yeah, when Joe they have except for the government subsidized Indian gas stations, they still have those around, but that's all. There are no mom and pops American owned anymore at all. Those don't exist anymore. They've got to be subsidized by the government to exist now, and the government will only subsidize foreigners. They won't subsidize American citizens. Yeah, support independent thinking. Hell yeah. Even if it's crazy and oddball thinking, as long as it's independent and you're doing it, hell. Yeah, good Metal Gear. Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that, dude. I wish we could all do more of that. I try to do that. I've got that buyer app on my phone so I can scan it and see, if it's owned by a huge corporation or if it's family owned or or employee owned. Some of them are. Too much beer was even a sentence. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that should be censored, Hurst. Right? Why aren't we censoring that kind of shit? Why didn't YouTube jump on your ass for even putting those three words together in their shit? They should have said, "Hell no, dude, no censorship." Yep. Oh, yeah. Underground hit the nail on the head there. Prices will only go down if people stop consuming overpriced shit and get frugal. People need to get back to living like foreigners, 20 in a house and save up on and build resources. Yeah. I wouldn't say foreigners because I'd say more like, we did in the olden days, the 1800s and shit, where their family owned generationally owned homes, and the whole family stayed there. It would be, it could be a lot of people, but not 15 people crammed in a one, a single white trailer. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live like that. Prices for things like meat have actually gone down. Okay. Nah, that's not the case down here in my area anyway, Shannon. I haven't seen that at all. Yeah. Yeah. Jeff Bridges said in Starman, what I find most beautiful about you humans is that you are at your best when things are at their worst. Yep. You take in four of us weirdos. Ross. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Crusader. That's how they do down here too. Pay $50 each a week, and but it adds up to 2-3 grand for the renter. um yeah, and the renter of course loves it because the place is a piece of shit anyway. Oh, okay, tripwire, that's cool as hell, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Harvested your coffee trees the first time. Let me know how they come out, dude. Oh, okay. A main street that is entirely owned by families that live in town. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. You don't need help spending your money, Hurst. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I don't remember the guy's name, but yeah, he went off totally off grid in Alaska. And I mean, the Native Americans did it for thousands of years. So it's not a big thing. Um, of course, they were handed down knowledge for generations of how to live off the land and stuff. You know what I mean? But we can we can learn enough to just disconnect from the system, not necessarily completely off the grid or any of that shit, without power, but disconnect from the system as much as possible. That's my goal. Uh, you know, how I get power and all that stuff, I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I don't want to be locked into this system, until the day I die. Yeah. Yeah, Fox, that's the kind of waste that's just become normalized in society. Fox in the Shed. Yeah, what's up, Fox in the Shed? You snuck in here on me. Every house in the suburbs has its own lawnmower for a tiny little square of grass. It's so pointless and wasteful. When did we ever start coming up with these? I know a lot of people love their manicured lawns and stuff, so I'm not pissing on you if if you like your manicured lawn. But when did that become normalized? Why don't we just grow flowers and stuff for the bees to buzz around in? Why must we have grass this tall that's completely useless? Its only purpose is to look at it so the neighbors can look at it while I'm at work and see how cool I am. Uh, I've never understood that since I was a kid. Really, that's blown my mind. All right, damn. Okay, Hurst, single since your 50th birthday. Going out for smokes, huh, Crusader? Yeah, yeah. WEF depopulation. Yeah, well, Bill Gates would just come out and tell you. Hey, he'll just come right out and tell you. And cameras on him, rolling, cameras rolling. Oh yeah, we're gonna depopulate. We can reduce the population by whatever percent. Yeah, with vaccines. He said it, and everybody either just ignores him or claps. Oh, that's so wonderful. Uh, that is some Jack the Ripper kind of shit. You know what I mean? Some Superman doomsday enemy, Superman's arch nemesis type of shit. Depopulate. Well, that was the theme of the Avengers, except the only difference was Thanos wanted to depopulate the universe, and he did. Uh, Wonder if there's any correlation there. Yeah, yeah. Muskogee a sustainable retirement community. Grow grapes for wine. Grow hemp for everything else. Yeah, a black market underground economy. Yep. Yeah, I think you're right, RR. And I wonder why. And the thing is, right now, silver's so high that all the people like us are selling it to the big institutions, the big corporations. There's going to be very little silver out there among the population. Uh, I wonder if that's going to have any ripple effect into the future, where all the silver is funneled up. So silver is going to be hard to trade. It's going to be hard for us to make our own coins in a black market economy because everybody's given away their silver or sold their silver for fake ass money. And it's not a bad thing to do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. It's worth a lot right now. So, but what are going to be the consequences of that as we go into the future? Oh, just like they had the gold buyback in it was kind of reversed, but they had the gold buyback in the early 20th century. The garden, parking lot, and fire pit. Yeah, Roz, that's how I am, dude. Yeah, me and you think a lot alike. Mowing the lawn and all that shit. I mean, I mow my lawn, but I think it's a waste of time. Uh, I do it more for my wife. If I were single, the shit would be up to my knees. I'd probably plant a garden or plant some flowers out there if I were single. Yeah, not going through the apocalypse without coffee. Trip. Yeah, see, Trip's prepped, prime prepper there, growing his own coffee, dude. Yeah, that's grow potatoes for vodka. Oh yeah, underground. That's right. Can you make vodka out of sweet potatoes, Trip? I bet you can, huh? Why not? Why wouldn't you be able to? You should be able to. It probably tastes like shit though. No, Bill Gates isn't when Joe. Elon Musk is. Yeah, Elon Musk is a Gen Xer. Bill Gates is not. Bill Gates is Generation Jones, I believe. Yeah, a bunch of Gotham villains. Hearst, exactly, dude. The WEF, yeah. You have the same kind of retirement idea, Christopher? Yeah, I think a lot of us do, dude. Some of us may have already, started taking great steps, if not already living sustainably and living, kind of detached from the system. That's just smart, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people need the money, and it's a wonderful time to sell if you absolutely need the money. But holding on to it, yeah, crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. YouTube videos show how to extract silver from everyday objects. Crusade. Yeah, it's used in almost all kinds of industrial applications and shit. There's silver in almost everything we have now. All these electronics and shit. Crusader. Yep, you're absolutely right. Oh no, Gordo, that is epic, dude. 10,000 wild weed seeds online. Oh, dude. You used Roundup to write the word asshole. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's classic, dude. What's that, Dead Wolf? Silver? Yeah, it very well could, Mike. Yep. Didn't have to mow this year. Yeah, Christopher, that's good. Oh, okay, Win Joe. Yeah, some people just like lawns and they like mowing lawns. It's a Zen thing for some people, it's relaxing and stuff, and that's great. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, as a whole society, most people mow their lawns just to impress other people. I mow it. I do. I mow it to impress my wife. I'll be the first one to admit it. If it were me alone, I would not mow that shit. I'd plant some wildflowers or something out there and let the bees have at it, and I just have a path. You know, I wouldn't even have concrete out there. I just have a path I walk through there. If it were up to me alone, but I want my wife to be happy, and I want her to smile when she looks out there. So I keep it mowed. You know, Hardwire, what's up, Hardwire? Speaking of Hardwire, don't forget his show comes on at 6. The link is in the description of this video right here, of my video right here. Hitting it with Hardwire. I invite all of y'all to go check it out. See what you think. See if he's as unbearable as I am. Processing firewood, hell yeah, dude. That's a Zen thing to do too. Yeah, yeah. That you're right though, underground. It is slow money when you can turn stuff over. I actually used to. I don't have time right now, but I will again in the future. I made decent money taking pallets, old pallets. People just throw them away. I'd take them, clean up the wood, and build furniture out of them. And people loved them. They'd come and I just my wife would put the shit online, take pictures of it, and people would come and buy it from us. Shit I made out of pallets. I mean, it was beautiful stuff. I'm not tooting my own horn, but it didn't look like junk. Um, I know what I'm doing in that area, but yeah, that's a good way to make money on a very small investment. I had some wood glue and some nails. I already had the tools, so some stain and stuff like that. But yeah, there are ways, side hustles where you can make some good money. Yeah, Yeah, and it's crazy, Brad, when we see stuff like that. But I'm convinced that this is just absolute truth and fact. But it sounds crazy, absolutely crazy, when you just say it out there straight. When our labor and planet were purchased with pretend money by adrenochrome junkies, I'm pretty sure that's close to factual. But it sounds insane, doesn't it? Because we're living in an insane world. We're the few sane people living on a crazy ass planet full of nutcases and lunatics, killing and robbing each other over the most ridiculous shit you can think of. Yeah, well, I know a guy who just went and sold his Raziel, and hell, he said the line was crazy. People down there with their shit selling it. Yeah, he said everybody's selling their silver right now. So, depending on where you're at in the country, maybe, but they're selling the shit out of it here where I'm at. Yeah, fill your mouth with all the money you will save. Yep, Mike. Yeah, hitting it with Hardwire. 6 o'clock. Polyculture lawn underground. Pesticides and yeah, I don't put pest. I don't put chemicals on any damn thing. Nothing. Yeah, yeah. So I'm with you there. My lawn is what it is. I'll mow it, but as far as going, that's about as anal as I can get with that shit. I don't put chemicals on anything. Not my lawn, not my garden, nothing. Oh, that's cool as hell. All right, Shannon, that's a cool side hustle. Yeah, freeze dried candies. Yeah. How does that thing work? Is it worth having? I've considered saving up and trying to get one of those. Because some of that stuff isn't freeze dried stuff, lasts a long time, doesn't it? Can you feel that wind, Joe? Yeah, I love that song, dude. Yeah, that's a badass song. Oh, that's awesome, Raziel. Your wife used to mow the lawn and she'd get excited when you bought her a new lawnmower. That's cool as hell, dude. Oh, raised beds out of old pallets. That's a good idea too, Christopher. Hell yeah, dude. You love woodworking too? Yeah, me too. I can do that shit. Just not even trying to make money, just for fun. I make my wife stuff, and yeah, pallets are free. They're all over the place, Crusader. Yeah. Down here, they get sand and grit in them a lot. You got to try to clean it out as best you can. Pallets down here in Florida, they will mess up a planer. Oh, okay. A tractor mower? He never once got to use it? That sucks, Wenjo. Oh, some tall tree where over there in Norway, Oliver? Oh, glad. I'm glad to see a couple of y'all are going to go over there and check out Hardwire. Glad to hear it. Keep at least one silver spoon to detect poisons in your food or drink. Slowly stir several minutes, take out, wait several minutes more. If the spoon blackens, poison is present. Damn, Crusader, I did not know that. That's a good damn bit of advice there, dude. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that sounds great, Gordo. Sounds like you're living the life. You out of here, Michelle? All right. Thanks for stopping by, Michelle. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Have a great week, too. Okay. Long term going up. Yeah, it'll drop a little bit. It did recently. Dropped just a little bit and then went back up. Gen X rules, Michelle. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure what we have down here. But I'm a lot of people bring in sod from outside the state, Roz. Uh, and but I have it. We just call it ground cover. It's little green. It looks like grass from a distance, but when you get up on it, you see the leaves are more leaf shaped. They're not long, and it's viney. It grows along, but it still grows up a little bit, and you got to mow it. But still, it's native to Florida. That's the kind of shit I like. And the stuff dies in the winter. You don't have to keep mowing it, and it comes back every summer and gets all green and beautiful. So yeah, it's awesome. Rusty dude, what's up, Rusty? No shit, you built your tool shed out of pallets. We're talking about Canada, America, and Australia all just becoming one country, Rusty. Can you throw in a good Canadian word for us, dude? Can you make that happen, bro? Oh, oh, a Delta. No shit, Roz. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, Delta's good shit. Oh, that's where Just Another Guy in the Woods is from, Christopher. I thought you were talking about climbing trees in Norway. I just caught that one sentence. It flat. Everything's moving too fast for me to keep up. Oh, okay, Shannon. All right, so freeze dried stuff is good. All right. I heard it keeps a long time. I'd like to get one, to be honest. Got a foot or more of snow there, hardwire? Damn, dude. Yeah, carbon negative charge, Christopher. Yeah, antimicrobial. I've heard that before, Fox, quite a few times. That silver's antimicrobial. They use it a lot of medical equipment. So, yeah, there's another place it's used. No shit, Crusader. Clean silver coins put in milk or water keeps it longer. That yeah, it makes sense though. It's antimicrobial. So yeah. Robert, what's up? Colloidal silver on hand? Okay. Live frogs in milk also keep it longer. So put live frogs in your milk. Yeah, that hell, that's some damn good advice. I think I would come home and my wife would just kill me if I put a live frog in the milk. I think she'd just yeah, she'd be swinging a machete at me or something. The grass for your lawn is a weed, but you have to pull out the other weeds. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it, Arnis? Yeah, are you Canadian too, Oliver? Oh, okay. A 4x4 trail quail tractor coop move around in your yard so they mow and fertilize. Yeah, I've seen people do that with chickens and stuff like that. Yeah, that is so smart. Yep. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I heard quail eggs are really nutritious too. I know, eh? 52 letters. Hearst. Yeah, we're the only generation to be cooler than our kids, when Joe. You damn right. Yeah. And I've looked at the slang and stuff, that they have now and the slang we had the best slang uh when we were kids, we our slang was just cool. And the way we dressed. I know it's a love hate thing. Some Gen X some Gen Xers look back on our style, our fashion back then with, with horror. I'm one of the ones that look back on it with fondness. I love our style, the fashion we had back then, all of it. It was so cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brad. I've never heard that before, but it makes sense. Secret societies eliminated the militias. Yeah. Yeah. Damn that globalist agenda. Those of us free countries need to stick together and fight against it. Yep. Those of us who value individualism, excuse me, value individualism and freedom, autonomy. Those of us who value these things need to come together and fight back against this globalist nonsense. Still snowing there, Rusty? Okay. Yeah, I heard it's a pretty bad storm up north. Not as bad as the doomsayers would say, but still pretty damn bad. Bad enough. Shit. Oh, okay, Oliver. All right. I thought so. But when you said that, it made me think that maybe I was wrong. It's hard to keep everybody's nationality in my head sometimes, hard to remember all that stuff. Oh, okay, Crusader. All right, so you're Canadian Crusader? Okay, I'll try to remember that. I can't make any promises. Yeah, Arnis, I love pickled eggs of all kinds. I made a video on how I pickle my eggs, short, not too long ago, a few months ago. Yeah, I love pickled eggs. Yep. The weed killer, that lawn weed killer gets rid of all the natural, edible, medicinal plants, all the shit that's good for us. Freeze dried scrambled eggs. I've never even considered that underground. Yeah, I'm sure they are pretty damn good. Peacocks. Yeah, I don't know if well, I'm sure you can eat peacock. I don't know how good they taste. Uh, I've never heard of anybody eating peacocks or peacock eggs. The real 7 inches wind, Joe. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, and it's and a lot of their slang is not even a word. I mean, we took words and used them in cool and inventive ways. Awesome, gnarly, stuff like that. They're just making up nonsense, you know, in a lot of times, not always, but and then they're just and they use their slang is just it's silly sounding. You know what I mean? I started a video talking about their slang a few days ago, and some of the shit I can't imagine a grown man, a 20-year-old man, walking around saying that shit. Just, dude, yeah. No, pretty normal this time of year, Rusty. Thank God for Uncle Trump, Oliver. Oh yeah, Wenjo. Yeah, we can rib each other, not get butt hurt. We can even disagree on real shit. We can disagree on immigration. Whatever the policy is, we can disagree on that shit and have a civil conversation about it, and still be okay with each other afterwards, right? Uh, some of us want ICE to be gone tomorrow. Some of us want them to redouble their efforts, but we can all get along. And we all know that ICE is going to do whatever the damn federal government tells them to do. But we can also figure out how to you know to start enacting some change slowly, individually. Stop funding them with our time and our attention. Thanks, Muskogee Land. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you, man. You're righteous too, man. Even over there in Santa Fe. Yeah. I hope you're enjoying it over there, man. I truly do. I hope you're having a good time over there. Yeah, Crusader, we're the best of all humans, dude. You need a nap, Muskogee? You must be having a good time over there in Santa Fe then. Yeah, and birds, chicken, quail, ducks, that kind of stuff. I've heard ducks are supposed to be the best ones, but that's opinion, you know. But they eat a lot of the pests that we despise, right? Your nationality is ornery badger, Roz. Yeah, yeah, I am a Florida man, Mike. Yep, technically, though I try not to act like one very often. I don't throw alligators through windows too often. You know what I mean? I try to refrain from that. You know, just because I like alligators. No sense in wasting a good alligator on a Wendy's drive-through. You know, peacock is full of parasites. Okay, I didn't know that, but I figured there's a reason people didn't eat them. I figured they just might taste like shit. Oliver, oh, you had pickled quail eggs yesterday? Yeah, I love pickled eggs, period. I don't know if I've ever had anything but pickled chicken eggs now, though. I've had pickled pig's feet. I like those. I don't know if I've ever had anything pickled that I didn't like. Yeah, Brad. Yeah, except for, personal self defense. But then by the time it comes down to that, you'd be fighting against a drone anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, they ain't gonna do shit against a tank. Yeah, yeah, Uncle Dundee. Yeah, I like old Dundee. You can live on it, but it tastes like crap. Yeah, real ones. I mean, we have our Karens, Crusader, just like everyone else. You know what I mean? We've got our Karens, our crybabies. They're gonna get butt hurt no matter what. But those are few and far between. I think that the percentage of butthurt Karens in Generation X is much, much smaller than other generations, say boomers or millennials or, diatomaceous earth. Yeah, Roz. Yep. Take off to the great white north, Bob and Doug's Strange Brew. Yeah, that's a good damn movie. I forgot about that one, Rusty. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, and even for the most part, I mean, Oliver, we are like minded. I mean, we disagree on some things, a point here, a point there, you know, but even on the things we disagree on, the fundamentals, I believe that the core values we hold to be true. It's the details. How are they supposed to be handled and stuff that even the only thing that we disagree on. And then we can disagree and still be okay with it. Okay, we disagree. Next subject, you know what I'm saying? I think that's Gen X's superpower. Yeah, Muskogee. At least he's colorful. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know. He's doing shit. He's not up there and not doing a damn thing. At least he's doing shit. Right or wrong, he's doing something. I'd rather see somebody try and just screw everything up than go up there and just do a bunch of dog shit and do a bunch of meaningless bullshit. Oh yeah, I love Gator Crusader. Gator Crusader. Yeah, yeah, but I've had Gator quite a few times. I like it. Yeah, yeah, Wenjo. Yep. And that's part of the thing I hope we're doing here is trying to figure it out, Wenjo. We're trying to figure out a plan of action. Um, what because nobody wants to give up their YouTube, nobody wants to give up their cell phone, nobody wants to give up their amenities, you know what I mean? And I'll be the first to admit that. I don't want to go sleep in a barn, on some scratchy ass hay and shit and, um, go hungry and, whatever. But there's got to be a way where we can live comfortable lives but still do the right thing and support the people that need to be supported, and deny those support who don't deserve to be supported, and fix things um, in the right way. I believe that that is within our power, and I believe we can figure it out if we discuss it and come to some decent conclusions here. Geese eggs when you were young, Rusty? I've never had a goose egg. I bet they were. You've had alligator hardwire? All right. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. Black and grouper. Oh, you're talking my language. I love seafood. Yeah. Yeah, wild hog, yeah, all that, yeah, underground. I love Southern food. That's why one reason I'm glad I live in the South. I love food from Louisiana, any kind of Southern food, red beans and rice, collard greens, grits, you name it, alligator. Yeah, mean but good eating, Rusty. Yeah. Bison. I've never had bison underground. Never had bison. I've eaten bear. I like bear. Shit. When I had it, I like that shit. Um, I've eaten a lot of deer, a lot of venison, elk, wild hog, lots of birds: chucker, grouse, quail, pheasant, duck, pigeon, dove. I've eaten all kinds of bird, but never had bison. Pickled oatmeal MRE. I never there was a pickled oatmeal MRE. Oh man, it's for real? I never saw that one. Yeah, Arnis. Yep. And if it did go down, some shit did go down. They'd be. It would almost be impossible. They can't do it. That's why they don't do it. They'd be digging rednecks out of the woods like ticks for decades. You know what I mean? And urban warriors out of the cities for decades. They'd have to just, drop a big bomb on the whole city and, just torch the entire forest or whatever. Just raise it all to the ground. And then they still have trouble, I think. Yeah, a bag of preservatives. Yeah, underground. You're absolutely right. No, I haven't tried it yet either, Christopher. I'll make jerky out of all kinds of shit though. I make my own jerky. I've got a dehydrator. Now Shannon's got me wanting to get I already wanted to get one, but a freeze dryer. But she's got me thinking about it even more now. Yeah, isn't actually happening to you now. Yeah, that's the real superpower. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, Roz, that's true too. With decent people, yeah, I would put up with a lot of discomfort for the right reasons. Um, Say if we all came together and you knew it was going to be a good thing and you knew there was going to be some change, but it was going to hurt, and I had to sleep in a barn on some hay for the next 5 years, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, you know, yeah, no problem. But just to do it on my own, you know what I mean? Just for principle's sake, no. Yeah, I, I'll I'll stick with my what is that, memory foam mattress. But yeah, the company, it means more than comfort. I would agree there, Raziel. Good people around you is way more valuable. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I think so too. Southern food is awesome. Smoked gator from Louisiana. All right, Oliver. I've never had smoked gator. Oh, a lot of frog legs. I've eaten a lot of frog legs in my life too. I ate turtle once. Didn't like the turtle though. Fried alligator. Robert, you had it once? Oh yeah, Crusader. Yeah, I like Black Bear. Yep. Roadkill Cafe, Christopher. Collard greens in your garden right now. I love that shit, dude. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love them. And beans. Most beans. I don't I don't love lima beans. That's the only one that I don't really love to death. But almost all beans I love. Uh, Black eyed peas. That's a southern delicacy. Red beans, all that shit. Yeah, I love all that stuff. Yeah, care about the poor for a change, Brad. That's what we need to get that somehow. Well, we need to straighten out this damn world, this damn mess we're in. At least you'd think, you know, we could figure out how to each contribute our little bit, and by just doing what we should be doing in the first place, the stuff we know is right, not supporting these sons of bitches who trying to destroy our planet and us. That's crazy, Crusader. I'm not even gonna say that out loud, dude. That that sounds like a damn what is that? Somebody just mentioned that TV show. That sounds like a sitcom episode. Yeah. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, if we're going by the Sodom and Gomorrah standards, we'd be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't we? A sous vide? Roz, what's a sous vide? I don't even know what that is, dude. Most urban farmers out of any major U.S. city? Okay. All right. That's awesome, Underground. Yeah. Earthrise Detroit is a great documentary about it. Okay. And pickled MRE may make it better. Yeah. Yeah. I've made some good jerky. Again, I don't want to toot my own horn, but that's my favorite jerky is the shit I make myself. I season it just how I want, let it marinate overnight, and then put it in the dehydrator, cut it in the exact thickness I want. Yeah, I love my jerky that I make, my jerky and my bread, my sourdough. Oh, yeah. Speaking of my bread, I got off on this sourdough kick, everybody, and I figured out that it's not as complicated or difficult as you would think making the sourdough starter yourself. So I went ahead and did it, and then I was telling my wife that all the people named their starter, like they gave it a name, like Chuck or whatever, like it was a being. Um, and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna name your sourdough starter?" And I said, "Hell no, I'm not naming that damn thing. It's sourdough starter. I'm not gonna name it." And she says, "What was that guy that lived in the trash can on Sesame Street?" I said, "Oscar the Grouch." "Oh yeah, we'll name it Oscar then." So now the starter's name is Oscar, and and then we've got three dogs, two female and one male, with named Wiley after Wiley Coyote. So there's always been, the girls outnumbered the boys in the house. It's just, this is just camaraderie between me and my wife, me giving my wife a hard time trying to make her laugh. Uh, so then once she named it Oscar, I said that Oscar was on the boys team. So now it's even 3-3. Yeah. You didn't care for turtle or frog legs, Hardwire? Um, yeah, I didn't care for turtle. I like frog legs. And, yeah, I like frog legs. Butter beans, yep. As long as you got beer to wash it down, Roz. Yeah, I'm not real picky, dude. And that's one thing my wife does not like about me because I'll eat damn near anything. And it doesn't have to be hot. It doesn't have to be piping hot off the stove. She can cook dinner 2 hours before I eat. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm just not that big into food. It's fuel for the tank. And if I don't like it, I'll eat it anyway. I'm not going to waste it. I'll shovel that shit down, uh, put it in the old tank. Don't be telling Ice that I love beans, Arnis. Where is it at, Wenjo? Where's your operation? Is it Wyoming or something? Antelope, it's got to be Wyoming, huh, Wenjo? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Robert, if we don't start earnestly addressing the debt, and we're not going to, Robert, that's the thing. We're going to multiply it. We're not going to address it by any way, shape, or form. We're going to multiply it. We're going to add to it, increase it, make it worse. Yeah, so we're headed for a calamity. Now, I don't know. It might be 200 more years. We might be able to limp along with this insane debt. But it's got to collapse. It can't keep going. Yeah, Wanjo, yep. We got to start teaching a man to fish again, sharing knowledge. Yep. See there, Crusader wants to know, Wanjo, where are you at? What state are you in? Well, how do you take care of the poor without getting entitled lazy people that won't work and take advantage? Um, that's why I don't think we need to take care of the poor in that fashion, not with handouts, with opportunities. We give the poor opportunities, not, not a living, not sustenance, the opportunities to do for themselves, unless they are literally incapable of doing it. If they're disabled or, in any way, incapable of fending for themselves, contributing, but still there's a way they could contribute. But yeah. Oh yeah, ask Raziel what Sue's vid was, and then I missed it. Did you tell me what Sue's vid was, Raziel? I still don't know what Sue's vid is. Wyoming. Okay, I thought so, Wenjo. All right. Yeah. So what do you have, like a what's that called? A guide? You have a guide thing where you take people out on hunts, Wenjo, in Wyoming? Oh yeah, vegans. Yeah, that shit goes just like um, there are no atheists in a foxhole tripwire. There are no vegans when people are starving. People throw that vegan shit out the window. Uh, yeah, people. Yeah, vegans will be eating each other if it gets down. If it gets down to the wire enough. Yeah, I love sourdough bread. I've just never made it myself, RR. Yeah, I want one, Tripwire. Yeah, I want to get one. That's on my list of things I need to get. Newt, what's up, Newt? Oh, boiled peanuts, dude. You're talking right up my alley. Yeah, we used to have roadside boiled peanuts. Like, dude would pull over in his truck and he'd have a thing and he'd be making the peanuts and you'd get a big old cup for $1 or $2. Those have gone away though. You just get boiled peanuts at the chain gas station. They're still good though. I still get them once in a while. I love them though. Boiled peanuts are the shit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Roz. Yep, I'm of the same mind. Everyone needs to contribute what they can. Yep. Arcopia. Forever bread. No, Oliver. That's uh that's sourdough bread, right? Is that another name for sourdough bread? That sounds like it. Forever bread. They've got sourdough bread that's like hundreds of years old because they keep, remixing the starter. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Me too, Christopher. I'll throw some shit together. I do a few things well. I can cook in the crock pot pretty well. Russell Pruitt, what's up, Russell? Glad to see you here. Yeah, debt has to increase, RR. Yeah, if it as soon as it stops increasing, it collapses, and then it increases to its bursting limit. It's no longer sustainable, and then it collapses. But there's only two outcomes: collapse from stop borrowing or collapse from borrowing too much. Either way, it ends up in collapse. Angus, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So if anybody's interested, I don't know how. Let me see. Do I have the thing on here? No, I don't. I don't have the email yet. It's genexstinks@gmail.com. Um, email me when Joe, and then I can hand out your information to anybody who's interested. It's genexstinks@gmail.com. Yeah, pretend debt slavery, Brad. Yep. Oh, okay. A water circulation device that can be set to an exact temperature. Okay, Shannon. Yeah, meat smoker. If you haven't got one, you can build one. They're not complicated. Smoking meat is not complicated. That's a pretty simple way to preserve meat is smoking it. Yeah. Yeah, Raziel. Yeah, they do sound useful. Think instead of complying, Brad. Yep. Yeah, exactly. The best advice you can get. Living and Active. There he is. What's up, Living and Active? Living and Active's channel link is down in the description of this video too. So if any of y'all are interested, I invite you to go check out his channel as well. Oh yeah, the local farmers boil peanuts. Yeah, and they were just on another level. Long pork, Oliver, out of your neighbor. Gen X will be the only survivors, Wayne Beatty. Yeah, we will definitely rule if somehow somebody else survives. We will rule the post-apocalyptic world. Oh, good living, yeah. Dehydration, fermenting, and vacuum seal capabilities for food preservation. Fermenting is a good one. I've been seeing about how back in the old days, um, like the Middle Ages and stuff, they would ferment apples for the winter. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be warlord. We'll be ruling the post-apocalyptic world, Crusader. Hell yeah, dude. Soylent jerky. Yeah, when Joe. uh, Children of the Grave generation. Brad. HOA. Yeah, Arnis. You spice neighbor jerky with HOA. That's hilarious, Arnis. Yeah. Yeah, Dune and harvesting water. Yeah, Christopher. Yep, the still suits. Okay, Wenjo. Yeah, email it. I'll I'll share it with anybody who's. I'll even put it in the link in my comments or in my the description in my videos from now on. Try. We got to help each other out in that way. Support each other. Yeah, smoking meat is a primitive skill, and it is so good. Smoked fish, smoked venison, smoked beef. I don't know. I've never had a smoked meat that I didn't love. Yeah, that shit's good. Oh, okay. All right, Crusader. Yeah, I've seen where you can recycle urine through what's it called? Where the water vapors come up. Condensation. No, no problem, Living. Glad to help. Oh, you're not a fan of pickled food? Oh, well, yeah, I love pickled food. I love pickled everything. Flavor soylent meat like they do veggie burgers with pork fat. Maybe, maybe, Wenjo. Oh, brine solution, not vinegar. Yeah, okay. Like but sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is fermented, isn't it, Living? I know kimchi is. I've tasted kimchi. I didn't like that shit, but that was different. That was in Korea. They season stuff differently. I like cabbage, so I think that I would like fermented cabbage, but they do something different with it there. Oh, Roz, they're delicious, dude. Boiled peanuts. Oh yeah, they're a staple of the South down here, and they are delicious, dude. Yeah. Um, yeah, they're worth getting some just to experience it. Pinhead would want to hang out with us, Robert. He probably would. All the Soylent Green talk going on. Oh, okay, Trip. You don't like pickle? I like pick. I'll pickle any damn thing myself. Soylent sushi. No, I'd have to smoke that shit or something, deep fry it and bread it, something to. But no, not Soylent sushi. No, I don't think I could do that one. Smoked bones are great for soup. Yeah, Christopher, you're right. Yeah. I mean, that just makes sense once it's said out loud, but yeah. Win-win, huh, Crusader? Yeah. That's actually been done. Yeah. Osmosis and distilled. Yeah, Garden of Eden yards. Yeah, Brad. Everyone um should grow something, herbs, something, and just if every one of us could just take a little bit away from those huge corporations who are feeding us poisons. Just take a small amount at a time. That's less money that they can give to politicians through lobbying and bribery and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love pickled eggs, Crusader. Pickled herring will put hair on your chest, Crusader. I don't think I've ever had pickled herring. Okay. The salts are difficult to remove, Christopher. Oh yeah. Lawn ornaments, Vlad the Impaler themed lawn ornaments. Yeah. I like old Vlad. He's always been one of my heroes. I've read his a biography written about him. Yeah. He they said he was the world's only truly psychopathic ruler. Like Jeffrey Dahmer type of shit, psychopath. Yeah, and he did some crazy shit and some awesome shit, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Crusader. Kimchi is cabbage, and I like cabbage, but I didn't like the kimchi I tried when I was over there in Korea, when I was stationed in Korea. But they put different seasonings and stuff in it. If I did it myself and seasoned it myself, I'd probably like it. No, lemon juice and a pressure cooker for canning. Okay. Yeah, I don't like raw radishes either, underground. You say pickled baby radishes are delicious, though, huh? I'm gonna have to try that, dude, for real. Yeah, I didn't like the kimchi I ate either, Oliver. And I've got another thing you can do if you have the area is composting. Instead of throwing all that food away, right? You compost it. I just bought a little, one of those little composting drums that you spin around, and I can fill that thing for a year, literally, and it just keeps going down. And I'll go to throw some more stuff in there, and it's sunk down. I was stuffing shit in it, literally, packing shit in it, and then after a couple more weeks, that shit'll deflate. The bacteria will eat that stuff, and it'll go down. And it's got two small sides, but I'll use one side and fill it up, and then get the stuff out of the other side and keep flip flopping like that. But yeah, I love my composter. And then that feeds plants and stuff. So yeah. Yep. Yep. On the balcony. Yeah, Shannon, you can still grow stuff on the balcony. Yeah, Vlad was tough on immigration, Christopher. Yep. And I'm not advocating we be, Vlad tough on immigration. They, just give them tickets home. Small scale food preservation, fiber and fabric crafts, and old world machinery maintenance. That's all good stuff over on Living Inactive's channel. Like I said, it's down in the description of this video. If you want to learn that kind of stuff, that kind of knowledge is, uh, I think it's just great to have. No weak ass dumplings, Roz. Yeah, yeah, Brad. Plants love our waste, and we love eating plants. Yeah, RR. Yep. Yeah, Shannon. Couple of tomato plants. Okay, Crusader. Have a good one. Thanks for showing up. What time is it? We got a few more minutes here, but it's getting close to time to Jewel Z. A patriarchy or a matriarchy? Neither. Jewel Z. Jules. Neither one. I don't believe we live in either one. Um, there's nothing to support any of that, either side. I believe we live in an oligarchy, uh, and one that is basically run by banks. You know what I mean? Yeah. Order of the Dragon. Yeah, that is pretty badass, dude. That's kick ass, Robert. You're right. We need to make some kind of order. Order of the Rocker or something. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of kick ass shit. Order of the Apocalypse. Crypto Corporatocracy world. Yeah, Brad. Hot pickled red cabbage is awesome, Mike. Yeah, that's more what I'm talking about. Something like that. Even fermented. I'd like to try fermenting it. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's another thing is fruit trees. Buying, planting fruit trees because you don't have to take care of them like you do a garden. They just give you food every year. Uh, Fruit trees are awesome, awesome in my opinion. You know what a great plant that was, Arnis? All right. All right. Okay. A whole yard full of berries. That's great. Yeah, Roz. You hand turned your compost. King Charles or Putin from the line of Vlad? I don't know, Wenjo. I don't know. Both of them, maybe. Maybe they're distantly related. All right, Christopher, be cool, buddy. Thank you for showing up, man. Yeah, that's what I've heard too, Robert. They're all interrelated to some degree. Post apocalyptic inventor shows how to restore lots of old machinery and tools. Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's an oligarchy. Yep. People think it is in a way sort of by law uh, our constitutional republic, but they quit following those laws long ago, didn't they? So, what you know, what the hell? All right. So we're about to wrap this up. So for all you members, I've been meaning to. I need to remember to tell you all this. So for all the members, next Sunday morning for our members discussion, I finally got it set up so I can take phone calls. So if you're interested in being the caller, if you want to call in on the show and talk to me on the show, um, email me, genxthinks@gmail.com. Again, I don't have my thing. I got to add that so I can put the email up here. But it's genxthinks@gmail.com. All just lowercase, genxthinks. So GENX thinks. So if you want to call in, email me, let me know, and I'll tell you, I'll give you the number and tell you what to expect and all that stuff, and you can call in. I'm probably only going to have one call in. I'm just, um, this would be my first time having someone call in on the show and stuff. So, but any members who are interested in doing that during next Sunday's morning episode, please email me. I'd love to talk to one of you. So yeah, it'll be a cool experience. And once we get it into the rhythm of that, that'll be a regular part of our show. Y'all can call in and we'll talk. So we'll incorporate that. That's been on my to-do list for the show for a long time. And I finally got it figured out to where I think I can make it work. So just email me and let me know if you're interested in being the one to call in next weekend. All right. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. The address for those who have been requesting the address, there it is. If you want to mail something for the nostalgia shelf or just write me a letter, old snail mail style letter, whatever, P.O. Box 1034, Silver Springs, Florida 34488. And that's the address you would send it to. And so that's for those of you who have requested that. I've had several requests for that. Let's see. And now I will go ahead and say goodbye to everyone. This is a great episode. We talked about all kinds of shit. And I love these conversations I have with y'all. So I'm going to say really heartfelt thank you to every one of you. Living and Active, Brad Davis, Christopher, Tripwire, Raziel, Oliver Rust, Electronic Music Underground, Shannon, Arnis, Wenjo, Robert. Did I say Christopher already? I think I already said Christopher. Who else we got here? RR, Old Man, Wayne Beatty, Fox in his Shed. Who else? Did I say Robert already? I might have already said Robert, but Robert deserves two goodbyes. Arnis, Can't forget Arnis. Can't forget my boy Mike Fleisner. Wouldn't be able to live with myself. Crusader Survivor took off already, but still, goodbye to Crusader. Who else we got here? I think that I'm close to having everyone. If I did not call out your name, I truly apologize. I try hard to get everyone, but just the nature of the beast here. Rusty Doob. Rusty Doob. Can't forget Rusty. I try to get everyone, but it's difficult just scanning through all these comments. Russell Pruitt. Can't forget Russell. Newt was here. All right. I think that's all I can get. I'm at the end of my ability to scroll through the comments. So if I did not call your name, Gordo, if I did not call your name, I apologize. And Jeff 7. I don't think I called Jeff 7. I missed him. And let's see. Rusty Doob, straight our Canadian. He's up there freezing his balls off up there, waiting patiently for the spiel. And I know it's everybody's favorite part. So this Econ and Cohorts, you have a great Sunday too, Econ. So this one is going out for Rusty Doob, this spiel. And everybody, as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a great evening and a great week. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, it's only $2.99 a month, and I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. But I really appreciate all the support from the members out there. This is the members banner here. And I really appreciate these people. They support the channel directly through memberships, and it helps out a lot. So thank you very much to all the members. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, all kinds of stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description too for any of you who are interested. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Things, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us, and the email is genxthings@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.